Hi everybody, Patricia here. I'm going to attempt to do this video yet again. So I stopped, I had to go do something and I figured change into my jammies and that way I can relax while I'm doing this. And hopefully I don't have to stop the video yet again. So here we go. I'm going to do a book haul, which is at least 20 books, so or around 20, like give or take. But some are falling over, so I'm not even going to bother to count. This That's just the way it goes. Sorry. Anyway, what I'm going to start off with is the what I am currently reading, and that's my last. I did a video on that a couple of days ago, and it is called "Words on Fire" by Jennifer A. Nielsen. This is a historical fiction book. I thought when I was doing my current reads on, I think it was Saturday, I thought The Scourge by Jennifer was historical fiction, but it's not. So I correct myself on that. But Resistance and A Night Divided, along with Words on Fire, those three books are historical fiction. So just to correct the mistake that I did on my current reads. So that is that. The next two books I am going to show you are the first two books in a series. They're by Catherine Lasky, and they're Tangled in Time. This one is The Portal, and this one is The Burning Queen. So, and I think it's, let's see, uh, I don't have my glasses on, so I can't even read it, but um, let's see, I can't remember her name. Rose. She ends up living with a grandmother she barely knows and her adventures go from there. And from what I read on this book, why the bookmarks are here, that she likes to dress in her own style and not with how the other girls from her new school are dressing. So, which I think is awesome. Her clothing style is she's beating to her own drummer. So, that is awesome. And once I get into it and make it my current read, that I will be able to explain more. And I wish I didn't leave my glasses in the other room. So, which actually I could have taken my other pair out of my purse, but hey, you don't think of that stuff when you start stuff like this. Ah! Anyway, those are there. These books. My next book is Descendant of the Crane by Joan He. Now I hear good things about this. Yet again, I'd read, but this here. Maybe I should go get my glasses. I will be right back. There. See, just pause it, and get these so I can um read. I'll read the description of this. It says, "Tyrants cut out hearts, rulers sacrifice their own. Princess Hasina of Yan has always been eager to shirk the responsibilities of the crown, dreaming of an unremarkable life. But when her beloved father is found dead, she is thrust into power, suddenly the queen of a surprisingly unstable kingdom. What's more, Hasina believes that her father has been murdered and that the killer is someone close to her. Hasina's court is packed full of dissemblers and deceivers eager to use the king's death for political gain. each plausibly guilty as the next. Her advisers would like her to blame the neighboring kingdom of Candia, whose ruler has been mustering for war, determined to find her father's actual killer. Athena does something desperate. She enlists the aid of a soothsayer, a treasonous act punishable by death, since magic is outlawed centuries ago. Using the information provided by the sooth, and uncertain if she could trust her family, Athena turns to Akira, a brilliant investigator who's also a convicted criminal with secrets of his own. With the future of Yan at stake, can Hesina find justice for her father, or will the cost be too high? Now, like, I heard good things about this book, and I wanted to give it a shot to see if I like it. Plus, I love the cover. Isn't that beautiful? Now, like, I kept passing this book, unsure of whether I would like it or that I wanted to pick it up, but I figured give it a shot, and that way you can make your own opinion. This is little voices in my head that I talk to sometimes. Yeah, I know. Just so that one. Okay, is that okay? So the next book is the second book in a series by Evelyn Sky, and the book I picked up was Cloak of Midnight, which is the sequel to A Circle of Shadows. Now, I'm not going to get into anything in this book because I don't want to spoil anything for this one. So, the top of the Cloak of Circles is Circle of Shadows. Sorry, is a society of assassins, an emperor of magic, a world of secrets. So, this looked interesting when I picked it up, and I never had a chance to really get into it. And now I got this one, so when I finish this one, I'll know what to expect when I start this one. Evelyn Sky is also the author of The Crown's Game and The Crown's Fate, which are on the back of this. So, and I think her Crown's Game is her debut novel, but correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I think I think I'm right, but I'm not really sure. The next book I picked up is also the second in the series, and it's from the world of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and it's chosen by Kirsten White. There's that, and it's the second of the second book of Slayer by Kirsten White. Now, I thought these were going to be interesting. So, where I've seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer when I watched it with my daughter when she was little, but figured give them a shot, see how they are, and that see how it goes. So that's that. Yeah, sorry, I'm leaning, keeping the. Okay, the next book I have is the first in a series. It's yeah, I think it's book one of The Revenge of Magic by James Riley. Now, I thought like this is a middle grade book, and I think I think some of these stories are really good. That you know, just because they're middle grade doesn't mean you can't read them. So and as far as I know, this was the last hardcover at the time I bought it. Now, whether or not they got more hardcovers of this in since, I don't know. Look, see, it's shiny. That's me in the reflection. But hey, but figured I'd give this one a shot. It says magic has returned in spell books dug up around the world. So that's, let's see, it goes one for the body, bones and skin, one for the spirit, its spectral kin, one for the mind, thoughts and dreams, one for the world and from dirt to streams, one for all space, wide and vast, one for all time, future and past. Seven from six, the rest on earth, one saves all if proved their worth. That's what it says on the back. And it's a blurb from Brandon Mull of the Fable Haven series. It says, "If this feels like the start of something big." So I'm looking forward to reading that and see how this goes. Okay, so the next I picked up is first of the paperbacks I picked up, and it's the Book of Awesome. Now I don't know if everybody anybody heard of this. I'm sure they did. It's pretty well versed. It's little stories of different that last crumbly triangle in the bag of potato chips. So it's little stories that you have that goes like, you know. And there's another one out, the Book of Even More Awesome, which I think I have to order it from my bookstore, but I'm gonna pick that up to follow up this one here. So that's that one there. The next book I have is by Rin Chupeco, and that is The Never Tilting World. Now, Rin Chupeco did the what is that? The Bone. Oh man, I can't remember the title of that book, of that series. Oh, I don't know if it's The Bone Witch. That's the last series, like the Bone Witch. Um, there's three books in that series. I know that. The Bone Witch, The Heart Forger, The Shadow Glass, The Girl from, which is the trilogy, and then there's The Girl from the Well and The Suffering. So I'm enjoying. I like the story behind The Bone Witch, so because of that is why I picked up this one. So once I get that series finished, or maybe I can even start this one before. So I don't know if it's a spin-off of it, but I don't think so. A demoness is what they call a goddess that men cannot control. That's what that. So that's going to be interesting. So I like the picture on the cover. So that's that. So okay, the next book I picked up is by Emily Wen Zhao, and it's The Blood Heir. And in the back it says, "A princess with a deadly gift, a calm man with no past and no future, an emperor spiraling into chaos, and it's time to choose a side." So I think of course, there's a lot of um, covers. I think this is the North American cover. I think there's an England cover or British cover. If I'm right, correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments about if there's different areas of the world that have different covers on this. So I could be totally wrong. That's how I roll sometimes. And it's yeah, okay. So it says in the blurb that in Syrian Empire, Aphanites are reviled. Are, their varied gifts to control the world around them are unnatural, dangerous. And Anastasia Mikhailov, the crown princess, has a secret. Her deadly affinity to blood is her curse and the reason she has lived her life hidden behind palace walls. When Anna's father, the emperor, is murdered, her world is shattered. Framed as his killer, Anna must flee the palace to save her life, and to clear her name, she must find her father's murderer on her own. But the Cyrilia beyond the palace walls is far different from the one she thought she knew. Corruption rules the land, and a greater conspiracy is at work, one that threatens the very balance of her world. And there is only one person corrupt enough to help Anna get to the to its core. Ransom Quicktongue, a running crime lord of the Cerulean underworld. Ransom has sinister plans, though he might have met his match in Anna. Because of this story, the princess might be the most dangerous player of all. But that sounds really interesting, and I like the cover. Again, it's wanted to give it a try. It's I've never read anything by Emily um, Amelia, and it's hard to pronounce her name. It's want to call her Amelie. So I've never read any of her books, and I don't know if she has any others out. I've never even thought to check, but I'm looking forward to that. My next book is it's by Rena Barron, and I heard this was a first in a series, and it's Kingdom of Souls. So that's the cover, and this again was the last hardcover when I bought it. Now I don't know if like again with the others, I don't know if they brought any hardcovers in since then. But at the time I bought it, it was the last one. And so let's see. And this one says, born to a family of powerful witch doctors, Era yearns for magic of her own, but she fails to read the bones, fails to see the future, and fails to call upon the ancestors. With each passing year, her ambitious mother looks upon her with ever growing disappointment or disapproval. There is only one thing Era hasn't tried. Charlatans in the market trade years of her Charlatans in the market trade years of their own lives for the taste of magic, without knowing how many each ritual will take. That is a sacrifice Era would never risk, until the kingdom's children begin to vanish. When Era trades her years for magic to catch the child snatcher, what she uncovers is even more horrifying. The Demon King, who the ancient gods imprisoned centuries ago, is stirring. If he awakens, his hunger for souls will bring Era's world to its knees, unless she pays the price for the magic to save it. But that is really like I've seen uh, booktube videos on this, but reading the blurb now it's making me that more intrigued. So that's again. I once laughed at stories about demons. Now I know that one may walk in my shadow. And that's that with the snake on the bottom. So that's sounds very, very promising. The next one I bought at the same time. No, did I buy that at the same time I got? Anyway, I don't think so. This one is by Isabel Ab Abanyan. Okay, I can't pronounce her last name without chopping it all to bits. And it's woven in moonlight. I love the cover, and I've heard good things about this, and I wanted to give it a shot. Probably by the time I read some of these books, it's the hype would have died down, and I'm taking off the price tag because it's Canadian price. But anyway, so a lush tapestry of magic, romance, and revolution, drawing inspiration from the Bolivian politics and history. So that's now look. I've heard good things about this one as well. Like I like to hear good things, both sides of a book, whether or not people liked it or didn't. Then that way I can, you know, go in to form my own opinion. And but either way, like you can like, not everybody has to like the same book. So I'm going to see how this one goes, and that's that one there. The next book I have is by Kelly Armstrong, and it's Wherever She Goes. That's that one there. Uh, I love fluffy unicorns. And that's from Despicable Me. So that's my fluffy unicorn. Don't gotta feed it. So that's and what if you were the only witness to a kidnapping and no one believes you? Now Kelly Armstrong, if you've seen my past videos at all, is my favorite author. It's I've read a lot of her books and I love them. And she, she's also Canadian, which I think is nice. I like to support any author really if I enjoy the book. Then, but she's one of my favorite. Love to meet her one day, but that will that will come in time. So that's that one. The thing, the next one is by Jess Kidd, Things in Jars. Now I watched Per Use Project. I think that's how what Reagan goes by, and she's just read this and she enjoyed it. So and she was giving me a description of it, and I thought, I got this before I knew she was going to read it. So, but let's see. Okay, let's see. It goes. Victorian London comes to life in this spellbinding mystery as an intrepid female sleuth wades through the murky world of collectors and criminals to recover a remarkable child. Bridie Devine, flame haired, pipe smoking detective extraordinaire, is confronted with her most baffling puzzle yet: the kidnapping of Christabel Berwick, secret daughter of Sir Edmund Athelstan Berwick, a peculiar child reputed, whose reputed powers have captured the unwanted attention of collectors in this age of discovery. Winding her way through the sooty streets of Victorian London, Bertie won't rest until she finds the young girl, even if it means unearthing secrets about her own past that she'd rather keep buried. Luckily, her secret is aided by the enchanted cast of characters, including a 7 foot tall housemaid, a melancholic tattooed covered ghost, and a vernacular apothecary. But secrets abound in this foggy underworld where nothing is quite what it seems. Blending darkness and light, Things of Jars is a memorizing novel that collapses the boundary between fact and fairy tale to stunning effects and explores what it means to be human in inhumane times. So, but I love the cover too. I love that. That's going to be interesting. Uh, my next one is I just happenstance across it because I love the cover, and it was is Nameless Queen by Rebecca McLaughlin. That's what that is. See, that's I love the cover. The cover I thought was like you have like something transparent over the cover. Another one, but it's that's what the cover looks like. And it on the back it says, "Hat's eyes widen. I twist to get a good look, but there's no bruise. Instead, a black ink tattoo surrounds my upper arm like jewelry. It's unmistakable. The sloping angles of design, the crisp edges, the sharp points. It's a crown. Impossible. The king couldn't speak my name because it doesn't exist. Yet the crown on my arm means that King Fallow named me heir. It is impossible. It's somehow true. I am nameless. I am queen." So, from what I read of before, she got this tattoo, and apparently she's not a. Like, I don't know. She somehow ended up with the crown, which apparently makes her heir to the throne. Yet she's not lives in the lower income parts of the kingdom. So looking forward to like it looks like it's going to be very interesting once I get into it, and we'll see how this works out in the end. So that's that one. Gee, look, yeah, look, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 14 there. Okay, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, there's 20. Anyway, like my next one is a paperback as well, and it's Lilac Girls by Martha Hall Riley. No, Martha Hall Kelly. I do apologize. That's that one, and it's based off um let's see, September of 1939. So I think it's the beginning of the Second World War. That Based on a real life story of a New York socialite who championed a group of concentration camp survivors known as the Rabbits. This acclaimed debut novel reveals a story of love, redemption, and terrible secrets that were hidden for decades. Carolyn Faraday is a former Broadway actress and liaison to the French consulate whose life is forever changed when Hitler's army invades Poland in September 1939 and then sets the sights on France. An ocean away, Caroline Kaz, Kaza Kuzmarek, a Polish teenager, sinks deep into her role as a courier for the underground resistance movement. In Germany, Herta Oberhauser, a young doctor, answers an ad for a government medical position, only to find herself trapped in a male dominated realm of Nazi secrets and power. The lives of these three women are set on a collision course when the unthinkable happens, and Kaiser is sent to Ravensbrück, a notorious Nazi uh, concentration camp for women. Their stories cross continents as Caroline and Kasia strive to bring justice to those whom history has forgotten. So like it's part of like it's historical fiction. So I like stories like this. Where they're historical fiction, and it's going to be interesting when I really get into this. Okay, there's the inner flap of that. That's so pretty. I like that. So anyway, that's that. The next book I have is the first is one. I think it's the first in the series. It's called A Conspiracy of Truth by Alexandra Rowland. Tell a good story that will catch and hold their attention or die. So, my video was like 30 minutes long. So I was going like it was like a cover vibe, but then when I read the back, it was like, it was, uh okay, in a bleak far northern land, a wandering storyteller is arrested on charges of witchcraft. He, though Chan protests his innocence, he is condemned not only as a witch but a spy. His chance to save himself rests on the skills he has honed for decades. Tell a good story, catch and hold their attention, or die. So that's the first part of this of the blurb that's on. Sorry. Of the description that's on the back. So that I think that's going to be interesting. Now I can't remember the name of the other book. I don't think it's, oh, A Choir of Lies. So that's what the second one is. So this is the first of the series. So I think that's going to be interesting. Look forward to that one as well. I always say that. So okay, let's bring these out. And the next one I heard good things about is Lee Bardugo's Ninth House. And I think Reagan read this one as well. If I'm right, actually I can't remember if she did or not. I think she did, but I can't really remember because it's a while since I've seen the video with this book in it. But I've read the first of the Grisha trilogy by Leah Bardugo, and I liked it. So Yale University. That's, I just think I noticed that, but it's um, Shadow and Bone. So that's the one I read, and she's has the Six of Crows duology, and then there's a couple of others I can't read because I don't have my glasses on, but I like that. I think I'm going to enjoy this one as well. So this is one of the I think it's like it's hyped, but it's still, because it's Lee Bardugo. I think I'm going to really enjoy that. So that's that one. The next one I picked up is Diamond City by Francesca Flores. Now, this is a debut novel by her. I don't know much about it, but it says the first part of this, it says, this job would earn Anna more than 100 times what she has been paid in the past. All she has to do is all she had to do was kill a person. So, and this one is a signed. It's an autographed copy, which is right there. That's is that. So that is pretty cool. It even says autographed copy, a signed edition. But I think I'm going to like that once I get into it. The second to last is the autobiography. It's called Me by Elton John. Now, unless, like, if you lived in the 70s, you'd know, like, I was lived through the 70s and 80s, and he was big. He still is, but see, this is one of his concert tickets, and look, the people, look, see, it's just full. And I love his music, and even that's some pictures of him when he was little with his parents, and he was born Reginald. Uh, can't remember what his birth name is, but anyway. But this is I think I'm gonna like this. I got a couple of autobiography books. One by that's autobiography of Oprah, and I think there's one of the paperbacks my daughter gave me that had something to do with Princess Diana. So but this is the one I bought brand new off the shelves from the bookstore. The one I got about Oprah, I got it at a thrift shop. So that's that. And then the last book that I got is more like a puzzle book, like if you want to call it that. It's it's called the Sherlock Holmes Complete Puzzle Collection, and it gives you uh, different scenarios, and you have to figure out the um, the answer to them. And so there's pictures, and they're really so like that's. So I think this, like, I picked this up, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna give it a shot to see if how many I can figure out. And it has um, what it is in the back. If you can figure out, if you can't figure it out, then that's what that is. And but I think it's good that I can use my brain and see if I could figure out stuff like that's be like a layman's sleuth by trying to figure these out. But anyway, that's that, and that's my last book. Now, where this is, didn't realize how long this would take me to do it, but I did it, and I hope everybody has a good week. And if you've read any of these books, or if you've heard anything about them, please let me know your thoughts about them in the description below. And maybe if you want to do like a book discussion on any of them, feel free to let me know, and we can maybe do like a buddy read or something. I don't know if that's what you'd be interested in doing. But anyway, I will talk to you later. Everybody have a good night, and I'll see you later. Ciao. Bye bye. Wee.